time now that everybody can hear you. Woohoo!
Woo!
Yay! And then last step, which I definitely don't want to forget, is to turn off this loud music. Okay, here we go. Cool. All right. Hi, everybody, and welcome to TB&J Open Mic. Let's get started. We got a full room. Ish. We just had one person cancel, so I guess that's not completely true, but still, like, pretty full. I'm Tom. I'm your host for the evening. With me, as always, is my co-host, Brooksageddon Poopsageddon. Before we get started, I'm going to do my normal review of policies. First, we have a 2-strike heckling policy. So first strike, we will mute you. Second strike, i.e. doing anything weird from your camera, we will kick you out of the room. Second, we have a 0-tolerance harassment policy. So if you feel like you're being harassed, send a private message to either me or Brooks, and one of us will kick them out. No questions asked. Next, when you're performing, you can switch to gallery view or pin the timer. That's you're going to see it's got your 4 minutes on there, and it'll tell you when they're up. And if you need an audible cue, again, just private message either me or Brooks, and we'll say 1 minute when you have 1 minute left. And for our audience, special note that this is an open mic, so the comedians performing come to us with varying levels of experience, so be nice. And also the content featured may not be suitable for all people, so you've been warned. That's your fault. And with that being said, if you'd like to support the stream, like and follow us on all the platforms which are in the video description, and please consider making a donation while you watch at district-comedy.live. Now, I'm going to get us started because I had to give up my spot last week, and I don't want to have to do it again. Because we were really busy last time. And I also don't like it when people have to transition out of harassment policies. Woo, 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 woo. So give it up for our first comic, Tom! Woo! Yeah. All right. First off, sorry if my set's a little weird. I got a good night's sleep last night for the first time in 4 years. Where I was going to do to my classic deadpan delivery. But yeah, you definitely know you're getting older when you only have energy for the setup. But literally, Biden was president for like an hour before people were like, you know, people don't even want him to be president. They're just happy Trump is gone. And I'm like, okay. And your point is? Like, bitch, let me be happy for 1 second. Goddamn. Like, literally the ecstasy I felt to watch a press conference that was informative and respectful and above all else, boring. Like, that is what I want, is for politics to go back to being boring. Anyway, back to business as usual. That's my political shtick. I was watching porn the other day, and I kid you not, it ended with a message saying, since the release of this film, the LAPD has issued a warrant for the actor's arrest. If you see them, please contact the local authorities immediately. Which, I mean, I think that's really cool. That's an interesting way to add an element of excitement to the whole experience. It's like, what'd he get arrested for? Arson? That's hot. Hey! And now that I think of it, every adult film should probably end with, like, a missing persons report. I feel like it'd be pretty effective. But then again, how many of you guys actually make it to the end? Am I right? I hate myself. Also, I thought it was pretty generous for him to be referred to as an actor. Like, is this what they're teaching now at Juilliard? Which, to be fair, getting into porn is probably one of the few ways you can pay off a degree like that. OnlyFans is its own semester. They just call it acting and producing in film. One of the things that I did in acting school was take a voice class. It really taught me how to open myself up, be vulnerable, and most importantly, how to stop my gag reflex. That class was called Gaping 101, which I thought was an odd name for an acting class. It's really surprising that it was an elective. I've used that skill so much, it really needs to be part of the core curriculum. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that whole Gaping 101 was going to land either, so I'm definitely going to get back to my writing team about that. last little bit here. True story, though. I'm a gay actor. I love me some Lecoq. That's an acting reference for people. And the theater I work with hosts galas for the donors for specific shows. And at one of them, I had a gentleman in his late 60s approach me, suggesting that if I really wanted to make the theater some money, I'd perform in Summer Hummer. And I didn't know what that was. But it's a fundraiser where the actors do a strip tease in the theme of a show that they've performed in. And not only is that generally creepy, but so is my performance resume. Like, do you really want to see a strip tease of our adaptation of Kafka's The Trial, where I play a cop that's also a cockroach? Just like, ooh, I bet you want to see what's under this exoskeleton. Or like, the other thing I played was like Clarence from Richard III, and like, you don't want to see that getting its freak on just before he gets murdered, you know? Like, oh, baby, my blood's just all over me. If only there was someone around who could clean me up and dispose of my body. But either way, the answer was yes, and Summer Hummer is the most money I've ever made in a single night. Anyway, that's where I'm gonna leave it. I'll do a promotion real quick because I'm gonna be doing Front Row Film Fest on Twitch at 8 this Saturday. So check that out. Give it up one more time for me! Yay! I always forget to say that, but it really makes a difference. Alright, next up, let me see if they're here yet before I introduce them. Alright, he's here, thank God. It was a whole thing last time. His intro says, I would like you to flatter me in the introduction. So we're just gonna say this guy's really funny. Believe it or not, English is his first language. Give it up for the awesome Christopher Ayo.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I meant to say I want you to flatter me, but I can't spell apparently. So the nicest thing you could have said there was, "I swear to God, he can speak English." I think I want to talk about something pretty personal to me. I'm a pretty tall person, but I'm like really shitty at being tall. And I know this because I told this joke for the first time last week, and it was on Zoom. Nobody knows my size. I said, I'm 6'3", and everyone in the audience went, what? No. We thought you were a small loser. Literally went. Brooks literally, dude, I thought you were 5'5". I was like, come on, man. I just don't have like tall guy energy. Like tall guys just have that confidence, you know, like they can walk into a room, just like control that room. Like when I walk in a room, everyone looks at me and they're just like, why is this guy so long? What is going on with him? I don't know, like to make matters worse, like I'm super slouchy and one of my legs is like a little bit shorter than the other. So like I kind of like walk like with this weird limp hunch. Like, you know that evolutionary chart that goes from like monkey to man? I look like the one right before man. That's me. Like it kind of looks like I spent my whole life crawling on all fours, and then one day I was like, wait a minute, I can fucking stand up? All right, let's do this. I don't know. It's like, it's interesting too, because it kind of works in the opposite direction, because there's some short guys who feel tall. Like I was talking to this guy and he was like, dude, I saw myself in a photo the other day and I realized I was so short. The fucking confidence you need to have to feel tall. Like anytime I see myself in a photo, I'm like, when did I grow? This is new. Boy, I don't know. It's odd. I just moved into a new apartment in West Philly a couple weeks ago, and I don't really live in a safe neighborhood, unfortunately. And the thing about living in a bad area is just like, there's really nothing you can do about it. You just kind of have to shrug your shoulders. Like I was trying to go to sleep the other night and 8 gunshots were fired, like right outside of my apartment. And me and all my roommates rushed into the hallway. And we're all like, did you hear the gunshots? And we were all like, yeah, good night, I guess. That was it. There's nothing you can really do about it. It sucks. And the incident popped up on this app I have on my phone called Citizen. I don't know if you guys have this app, but essentially just like notifies you of criminal and police activity in your area. But I hate this app because it's so fucking impersonal. Like you can react to crimes with emojis. It'll be like man shot in the throat. And 15 people will be like, what? Or it'll be like woman stabbed 11 times. And one guy will be like, what are you gonna do? Like this is real life, guys. Come on. I guess I'll end on this thought. I think I want to have kids one day. I mean, I don't actually know that. It's just, would maybe be a nice thing. But if I have a daughter, I know I'm not going to be one of those protective dads. Like I was talking to my one friend. He was like, if my daughter gets broken up with, I'm going to find that kid and kick his ass. Like, I'm just not going to be that way. If my daughter gets broken up with, I'm going to find that kid and be like, yo, she's kind of a bitch, right? I did a shit. I'm really sorry about that. All right, those are my jokes. Thanks. Thanks, Brooks. Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.
Doing the new thing of spotlighting myself, unspotlighting you will make this smoother, guys. Thanks for your patience. It's always better than like the weird in-between faces that you all make. I'm looking around the room real quick. I don't believe our next scheduled comic is here, but that is okay because up next we have somebody who is amazing and fantastic. I'm just gonna read their intro real simple and get them started, but they are recently unthawed from an Arctic glacier. Oog, son of Og, 30,000 BC brings joy and small roots to all. Please welcome Oog, son of Og.
어떻게 내 마음 내가 왜내 한다 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 대그람배 한다 대그람배 한다 한다 대그랜데 한다 대그란데 한다 대그란데
Keep it going, everybody, for I believe it was Oog, son of Og. I should know this already because it's not his first time on the mic. Canceled. No, we love having him on the show. He's great.
He's eating crayons.
Part of a nutritious breakfast. I don't know. This mic never gets less weird, so I'm just using it at this point. Up next, we have a wonderful comic, in line with the theme of what I just said. His intro says, "He thinks about bread all day." So you got to know the important stuff about these people before they come up. Please give it up. He's hilarious. He does an article thing called the Laugh Letter. You guys should all check out. Give it up for Sean Rossman. Woo, 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 woo.
Yeah.
I think I was really, really hungry. I'm always wondering what I actually put like 4 days later once I sign up for that. So yeah, guys, I live in the suburbs of Washington, D.C. And I kind of feel bad. It's like very, very nice and calm out here, while inside D.C. is kind of a war zone. Like the Skid Row out here has a Lululemon. And our McDonald's replaced the McFlurry with acai bowls. And the Army Navy store only sells doctor's notes for flat-footedness. But I live in like the apartment area out here. I just use the nice stuff. Like I feel like a kid again when we'd go to the nicer part of town to trick or treat. Except instead of full-size candy bars, it's just public bathrooms that don't require a code. My parents were all about free food as a kid. Like whenever we went to a party or something like that, my dad was like very strict that me and my brother had to eat as much as we possibly could. It's like really messed me up. I have like a weird thing with food, the bread thing. So like every endless buffet I see as sort of a challenge. I think it's like possible to beat the house like a casino. Like most people see all you can eat on the sign, but all I can see is make daddy proud. So one of my goals for 2021 was to take better care of my money. So I went to the personal finance section of Barnes and Noble. The phrase personal finance sounds like the naughty finance your parents are supposed to find. It's like you hid an Excel sheet in the woods next to a case of beer. So my girlfriend is trying to renew her work visa in the US. It's fun because it's a ton of paperwork, which is always nice. One of the questions she was asked was, while filling out the form, was whether she ever worked with any Nazi organizations. Then it asked to select either the yes or no box. I'm not sure this is a check the box type of question. Even the craziest Nazi would be like, I see where this is going. The old, are you a Nazi trick? But then I thought, like, what a nice casual way to catch criminals. Like, I would love if a detective just like handed someone a clipboard and it was just like name, address, murder, yes or no. All right, I think that's all I have for today.
Woo! Give it up for the incredible Sean Rossman, everybody.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, moving on to the next person on the list, because that's how lists work. Woo, 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 woo. I guess I did this last week, so it set a precedent, but this next comic has such a beautiful face. It is the most beautiful of faces. It's got eyes, it's got a nose, it's got a mouth. You guys all know who I'm talking about, obviously. Please give it up for the fantastic, beautiful face. As soon as I can find him in the fucking side panel. Here we go. Matt Lepari! Woo, 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 woo!
Yeah.
Can't even find my beautiful face in the side panel. That's disappointing. That was all right. I haven't been on a plane in over a year, which I'm sure is the case for probably most people. But I'm looking forward to when everyone has to wear masks again on a plane. Like the last time I was on a plane, I was sitting in an aisle seat watching a movie, and I heard someone behind me sneeze. And I heard it through my headphones. So I was like, damn, that was a big sneeze. Then like a second later, I felt this spray of mucus hit my arm. And I was like, fuck. I just got hit with a 500-mile-per-hour sneeze. That was disgusting. I looked back to see who it was, and it was this little greasy kid. He didn't even know what he did. He was just openly sneezing at people with no consequences. And that shit wouldn't fly today. No pun intended on that. Like, he was wearing a mask. He would have sneezed, and then he would just have to sit there for hours with a snot-filled mask. That would have been justice, as far as I'm concerned. I don't even know if you're allowed to sneeze on a plane anymore, honestly. Maybe just get arrested. Honestly, maybe the air marshal would have just gotten up and shot him in the face. That would have been better than what I had to deal with. I think the earth is round. I'm not a flat earther, but like I feel like I understand where flat earthers are coming from, right? Like I don't think regular people show good enough proof that the earth is round. You know, there's proof. You can use the sun and measure shadows and stuff, but people don't ever say that when they're arguing. Like I'll see flat earth arguments on social media, and then like the round earth person will just post a picture of the earth from outer space as evidence. They'll be like, does this look flat to you? It's like, yeah, it's a picture of a circle. That looks kind of flat. I don't know what your evidence is. I like when celebrities reveal that they're flat earthers too. Like B.O.B. the rapper a few years ago, he started raising money to buy a satellite so you could just see if the earth was flat. That was the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Like, if the earth was flat and there was this big world conspiracy, why would they just let you buy a satellite and figure it out? You ever think about that? Also, B.O.B. knows nothing about satellites. Like, I almost wanted him to buy one just so it could be like, wait, there's no directions with this thing? You're telling me I got to launch this with a rocket? Are you kidding me? I was on Facebook the other day, and I saw this girl's post. She was asking if anyone was available to take care of her emotional support animal for a few days. And then there was just a picture of a cat. I was like, she made that sound like way more of a responsibility than it actually is. Like, I don't know about taking care of an emotional support animal, but I have 3 cats, and I'm pretty sure even a dead person could take care of them. So I'm from New York. I spent my entire childhood there. My siblings and I didn't like summer camp when we were growing up. So one year my mom tried to spice it up and sign us up for farm camp. Reminder, I live in New York City, not Des Moines, Iowa. I don't think I've ever said I wanted to go to a farm in my entire life. It honestly, it sounds like a punishment to me. Like, didn't John McCain go to farm camp for a while? Wasn't that a thing? What's going on over there? Church camp. No, but we went, and we learned what life was like on a farm in the city. We learned how to churn butter by some lady wearing colonial clothing. I don't know who she was trying to fool with that outfit. We all know she took the bus to work, but she had to go. We didn't even do farm stuff half the time, really. We just played games in a barn. at a certain point, I was like, is this farm camp or is this just regular camp on a farm? I feel like someone pulled the old bait and switch. There was one good day though. I remember we were playing in a field with apples and we were throwing them all over the place. And at one point I saw a tree really far away with a hole in it. So I just threw an apple at the hole and it sailed right through the hole in the first try, which is great. But as it went in, there was this kid running behind the hole and it just hit him in the face and exploded into a million pieces. It was spectacular. And he fell to the ground and started crying and he told the counselors. But the whole time I was just like, did no one else see that throw? That was insane. Are you kidding me? I want my recognition here. All right, we're done.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Give it up for Matt Lowry, everybody. What is it? Whoa, what was that sound?
I think that was our caveman.
Right? It wasn't just me. Okay.
I think that was our caveman laughing.
Oh, great. I'm glad you're so engaged. Next up, I've been missing this guy. I don't know if I've seen him in the new year, but he's a regular. He's a classic. If I haven't seen him in the new year, this will be his streaming debut. So that's exciting. Give it up for Never Just Camilo. Woo, 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 woo.
Woo! Tom, that's very sweet. I am excited to be back. Took a bit of a break, for the new year. But okay, so this week, what do I got? Well, the term anti is quickly becoming one of my favorite words because everything a human comes up with, some other one wants to make an anti version. And it's just pure retaliation, which is a lot of fun sometimes. So there's you being a good citizen. You make the mask and you're trying to stop the spread of COVID, and right away someone makes the anti-mask. And another example, there's you trying to be social, and then, there's the anti-socials. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why. It's just pure retaliation. That's what I think. I mean, what's so good about corners that they're not telling us? Probably nothing. Just pure retaliation once again, just for the sake of it. The other word, you're hearing the word antibodies a lot more often now. We all just kind of became experts in it overnight, myself included. I am an expert now. Pinky promise, cross my heart. I am telling the truth, and I will say nothing but the truth. So what are they? It's good that you asked because I am an expert. So antibodies are things. So far, so good. And there's things, and they basically just get rid of the bad thing, really. You know what it is. It's a thing. It looks like a thing. It's the perfect size of a thing, and I'm going to let them put it inside of me. All right. This happened a couple weeks ago. It's a little late, but I still want to talk about it because why not? So, the QAnon guys, I don't know if that's what we're calling them, or just Trump supporters, I guess. They've been acting out of character this month. They may have crossed the line, to say the least. And I think what happened at the Capitol was definitely interesting. But I think the real question is, how do we get the same team to raid Area 51? We finally have an army. We just need to know what to tell them. So I think that's where all the mysterious ballots came from. The aliens got to vote twice this year. Most of them aren't even U.S. citizens. Imagine that. That's the type of riots I would support. Quote me on that. All right. There's the thing about shopping too. That's a little bit different now in the New Year's. The past year, it used to be, do you want a receipt? You never hear that anymore. Everything's shipping better be free, right? I love how that part is just free. Like, you don't have to pay for it. Sometimes you'll even buy 2 extra things that you didn't even need just to get the free shipping. It's like, as long as we're not paying the delivery guy, take my fortune. It's like, because shipping is not real work. That's what everyone says. I mean, it's I'm not paying for what am I getting out of that? It's just driving to my house. I do that all the time. What's the big deal with that? If I had a nickel for every time I drove to my house, you know how it is. The second thing you got to do is you got to decide when you want to get the package. And that one also has a bit of a pattern because it's never 8 to 10 business days from now. I don't know why that option is there. Are we supposed to pick that one? Is that the noble thing to do? Is just kind of forget about the free standard shipping option that was also there. Yeah, who knows? Okay, well, that's my time. Thank you very much for having me. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Mr. Camilo. Wonderful to have you. Another one of the classic TB&J Canadians. Up next. Oh, I'm really excited about this. It's her first time on the mic. So we want to make her feel super welcome. She's performed at Westfest Lit in Ottawa, and she's here to perform for you now. Give it up for... I'm going to get ready to spotlight before I say her name. Rebecca McDonald. Woo, 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 woo.
Very cool. Hi, guys. Hello. So don't do this. I was on my phone comparing the prices of a poutine on 2 different food delivery apps. Oh my God, you already know I'm going with this. So it turns out on both apps, it was about $18. So it's fine. I order my poutine. It arrives. I eat. All is well in the world. And then about 10 minutes later, my poutine arrives again. That day, guys, I ordered $36 worth of poutine. Let me rephrase that. That day, I consumed $36 worth of poutine. My roommate left something in the microwave. So when I opened up my microwave, it was just a swarm of ants, right? So I did the only logical thing, which is I slammed the door back shut and nuked them for 1 minute. When I opened the microwave up back again, they were fine. Like, one of them was kind of like walking a little funny, but the rest of them were fine. So I did the only logical thing, which is I slammed the door shut and nuked them for 2 minutes. My apartment building is interesting in the sense that it's at the end of a very long hallway. Like, from the elevator to my door, it's a good minute walk. It takes you about a minute. And yeah, which is why we've nicknamed it the hallway from The Shining, you know? Both because it's very long and also because there's 2 girls that haunt it. So one day I was on my way to the elevator and there was a guy at the end, and in order to inform me that the elevator had arrived, this is what he did. Hey, come on. Hey, come on. It's here. Come on. So when I got on the elevator, I pulled down my mask and I bit him. A lot of stores, because of COVID, have started putting arrows on the floor to direct the flow of traffic a little bit. I don't know anybody who actually follows these stupid arrows, you know? I don't know anybody who cares about this shit, except for my lovely boyfriend, who gets livid if you don't follow the arrows. So one day we're in we go to a store, we split ways to look at different things, and he comes back trying to find me, following the arrows, winds up stuck in a corner. Now, remember when I said he got livid when you don't follow the arrows? Yeah, being stuck in a corner almost killed him. So my laptop is a Mac, and because Mac sucks, I don't have any USB ports, so I have to buy this thing called a dongle. Okay, it's $25. It's called a dongle. It means you can plug in your fucking USB, and that really, really annoys me, really upsets me. But it's really hard to be mad at something that's called a dongle, right? Like, hey, Rebecca, what's on your mind? What's grinding your gears these days? I go, dongles. Ugh. I was drinking a glass of water, okay? And I finished my glass of water, and I was still thirsty, so I had another glass of water. And then I was still thirsty, so I had a third glass of water, and I was like, that's weird. That's a novel situation. Weird, right? So that should have been where I left it. But no, I was like, I'm going to look this up on the internet. I'm curious. So I type in, why am I so thirsty? Thinking that the internet's going to be like, hey, don't worry about it. You're just thirsty because you're an awesome person. Keep being awesome. Now, No, apparently the internet thinks that me having 3 glasses of water in a row means I got diabetes. I do not have diabetes. I'm good. Anyways, that is my time. Thank you for listening.
Woo! Give
Yeah.
it up. Keep it going. Oh my god. Can you get diabetes from poutine? Is that a thing? I've never had it. I have
Yes.
just like an abstract concept of what it is. I feel like it's gravy fries.
With cheese.
Okay,
Yes.
there we go. I was like, someone's gonna holla back at me knowing what it is. Anyway,
Amazing.
next up, I'm really excited for this next comic, as I always am, because they take over and let me enjoy the mic for the second half of the show. Please give it up for Poopsagon Brooksagon. I got that backwards for some reason. It's fine. It's Brooks. It's my co-host. Yay!
All right, you guys. Wow. I've noticed that Tom's excitement for my set is never about the jokes that I'm about to tell. It's that he doesn't have to do any more work. It's never done, man, this guy's really funny. It's just, all right, well, I'm done working for the night. I can phone it in. So I want to talk a little bit about when Chelsea and I were moving in together. And we spent a lot of time on Zillow. And Zillow is like internet porn for really boring couples that have moved past watching The Property Brothers. Like, just getting like a hot view of that kitchen at Property Brothers doesn't do it anymore. And now you want to step it up a notch by getting that sweet view of the bathrooms. Oh, there's a claw tub. Hot. And we still actually spend a lot of time on Zillow, even though we're already in a house. But like, you know, you want to spice it up a little bit and get a good look at some hardwood floors, because I'm not bringing hardwood to this relationship. Hi-oh! I'm a sad wreck of a person. But when we were looking at Zillow, there was one house that really stood out to us, and it is not the house that we currently live in. Because when we looked at this place, I was 96% sure that the landlord was in the Russian mafia. So we pull up, and it's this sprawling manor right on the Chesapeake Bay. And this big Russian man gets out and greets us with, "I'm Yuri. Get the Land Rover. I take you to guest house." So we get in the Land Rover, because big Russian men telling you to get in a car always ends well. And we drive across the compounds past a warehouse that he has, which he was very eager to point out, but also very insistent. "No look in there. Nothing there for you." I ask, "Why is nothing in there for me?" He says, "You ask too many questions. Not good idea here." And then we pull up to this. So we pull up to his guest house, and he shows us around. It's this really cute place. You can see the bay. It's right next to the woods. But Yuri was also insistent. "Those are wood. No go in there. Nothing there for you." And his son pulls up in these Land Rover big wheels, because everyone in this place has big wheels at Land Rovers, and a bespoke track suit. And Yuri says, "This is my son Yuri. He collect rent. No looking nice. Takes his challenge." Okay, no one intimidated by scary 7-year-old Russian boys. So after we get in the house, we get back in Yuri's car, and then Yuri wants to show us his dock. And we get down to the water, and he's having this party, and he introduced us to his friends. These are friends. He says, Yuri, Chet, Ivan, and Yuri. No looking nice. They take his challenge. We go on boat trip later. No, you no looking boat. Nothing there for you. No ask questions. All right, nothing. The Russian mob hit that was happening on that boat. You guys are way too cool about mafia violence. Just no shock. Like, if I had asked questions, I would have ended up in the bottom of the bay. And you guys like, wish you asked more questions. All right. Well, I am going to call that a day. And I am very excited to introduce
Wait.
our...
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt. I never do this. I normally do just, like, hand it over to you, Brooks. But we had, oh, my God, our first ever. Congratulations, y'all. We've gone viral. I have the option up normally, and I never normally even look at it, but we had a comment on one of our videos. So shout out to David King's Bookie, who commented, "Love Zillow." Back to
All
our
right.
scheduled program.
Riveting.
I just wanted to
Riveting
make sure our
news.
audience knows that we see them and we love them. Okay.
I'm glad that David also has a relationship that's too hot for Property Brothers.
Fuck yeah.
I promise I will
Okay,
not
well,
interrupt
I am
between
going
comics now. Okay.
Well, I am going to, I'm really excited to introduce our next comic because she's the Canadian comedian who is known for her Uncrustables material, even though she has never seen one. Give it up to Desiree Wall.
Yeah.
I feel like I should probably do the Uncrustables joke, even though I was gonna do new stuff, because I learned some new things about America. Just before I start, I think all of you know this, but I will die if I don't say it every couple minutes. I'm Canadian. I'm still Canadian from last week. I'm also disabled, but I don't think that will matter for this set. But just in case it does, now you know. So the new things I learned about America are, and also the entertainment industry, you have to audition for The Price is Right. You all know that, because I didn't. So you mean to tell me that those nice people are just, like, they're not lucky? They're actors? I mean, I was a little bit suspicious when the girl in the wheelchair got on, but a girl in a wheelchair got on The Price is Right. It was really funny. She had no legs. She's a comedian and she talks about it, so I think it's okay. If it's not, I'm so sorry. Yeah, but I was a little bit suspicious when she got on, but I just thought they were super inclusive. Yeah, turns out next you're going to tell me the people eating Burger King are actors too? And not just surprised patrons on the street that want to all take the same, I'll take one bite out of the same burger. Oh, the other thing I learned, Nick Dees told me about this, is some states have curfews for children under 18. Like not during the pandemic times, all the time. And I don't really think this is fair to the children under 18, because I mean, I get it. Like if you're 6 and you're out after midnight, yeah, like someone call the cops. But like we give people driver's licenses at 16. I don't think it's really fair to be like, no, you be home by midnight. Also, like, what about no teenage parties end at midnight? Everyone knows that. And like, what about the kid who has the side hustle dealing the drugs? Like, why are we taking that away from him? He's just trying to be entrepreneurial and sell his friends some acid. Come on. State of Virginia. Come on. Is what I say.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Also, I just want to point out to the state of Virginia, like,
yeah, let's hear it.
People have sex in the middle of the day. Like, you can still do drugs in the middle of the day. Like it's not like everyone's like, it's not like teenagers are like, I wish I could have sex and do some drugs right now, but it's 10 a.m. No. Those are activities. I mean, conventional, like, wisdom would dictate no, but, you know, live a little. It's noon somewhere. All of that was new. Me yelling, thank you. This is not a joke. I just want to say it. I read a Stephen King book, and they referenced Bangor, Maine, and I was like, my friend lives there. But I was alone, so no one really cared. Thanks, that's my time.
Yay!
All right, you guys, keep it going for Desiree Walsh. Great job with Bangor, Maine references. And then keep it going for our next comedian. He's everybody's favorite ginger, Mr. Nick Dees.
Yes. Oh, yay, everybody. Man, it's mostly comics here. I feel like it's all comics. And that one person that Tom felt so inclined to let us know commented. We could have Gone forever knowing that one. Thank you, Tom. But I think we can all agree that comics shouldn't steal other comics' jokes. I think that's pretty messed up. With that said, guys, I have never had Uncrustables before. And I recently just found out that New Jersey was a state. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that. That's weird. Did you guys also know that New York has a large garbage dump? I've never in my life heard. Oh my God. It's like America. What are you guys thinking down there? You know, you guys should take a page from our book, Universal Healthcare for Most. Oh my gosh. Yeah, guys, don't steal people's material. I don't know if you guys know this, but I hate those walkies. They just fucking strutting around on their 2 feet and their workable legs and just showing off, those bitches. I fucking hate them. You know, somebody should just cut them down to size. All right. My parents are Jehovah's Witnesses. I didn't steal this. My parents are Jehovah's Witnesses. And I feel like they get like a really bad reputation. And here's the thing, like I think Jehovah's Witnesses should get more credit because like I really like the idea of a religion that has a guest list. Okay. They only believe that 144,000 people are making it into heaven, which is like perfect for me because I hate most people. Okay. Like I just picture like a dude at the door that's like, what's your name? All right, you can go in. Sorry, what's your name? You didn't make the cut. And then it's like the idea of like, hey man, sorry, salvation's at capacity. You'll have to wait for the next one. My dad, so I don't know if you guys know this about me, but my dad is dead. And it's funny because I wrote it, but God kind of wrote that, but I just stole it from him. So I used to not like going to visit my dad in the hospital. Not because I didn't want to see him in the hospital or because hospitals weird me out, but because I knew that every time I visited him, there was a pretty good chance that I was going to see his penis. Because every time my dad was in the hospital, he just felt the need to pee in front of me into one of those little jugs. Like he would just lift up his gown and pull out his penis and just start peeing in front of me. And I would always be like, Dad, can you just please put that little thing away? And he'd be like, look, I had to stare at your little thing when you were a kid. So it's only fair that you have to stare at my little thing as an adult. And I was like, that's not a sentence I ever thought I would have to hear as an adult. I really like watching. I have 30 seconds left. I really like watching those kids cooking competitions because as a parent, part of me is always just like, oh my God, they are so good at cooking. It is amazing. But as a person who came from a broken home, who also has a bad childhood, I'm just like, man, I hope one of them cries. My parents love me, I promise. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Brooks, Tom, I love you. You guys are beautiful. Yeah. Thank you for the one person that commented.
All right, you guys, keep it going for Nick D's. All right, our next comedian did not write an intro, so I'm going to try and do one for him, and it will be better than the last one where I said he was a salad muncher. He created COVID and then launched... Actually, no, I'm keeping it at that.
Damn.
Fine, here's your new intro. He created the anti-mask movement. Give it up for Ralph Anthony.
Oh boy. Wow. 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 I don't even know what do you say to that? What do you say to that? And I know I do. It's terrible. I do look like I vote for Trump or I voted for and I still don't believe in masks. I look like a person that would say like the mask really constricts on how I can actually breathe in real life. It's choking me out. What? It's terrible. I'm at an age where I'm at an age where I should be on my second marriage and yet still supporting the kids from the first one. Like I actually don't have kids, which is shocking to most of my friends back home. I don't have kids because because I'm scared to be a parent. I'm scared to be a parent, but I don't have rational fears. Like, who here in here besides Nick has kids? Anybody have kids in here?
Yeah.
Okay, one. Okay, well, listen, better than zero. Like, I'm scared to be a parent, but like I don't have rational fears. Like most parents worry about whether their child's gonna get sick, get injured, get their head stuck in between the beams on a banister. Those are real world parental problems. My fear is that my child will pee on me when I'm changing their diaper. You know who doesn't like that joke, Brooks? My girlfriend, who happens to have a kid that's in diaper. That's not a normal fear. Like, that's not normal. If like my biggest fear about having a kid is having that kid pee on me when I'm changing their diaper, then maybe I shouldn't have a kid. Like that's what that tells me. That's why I feel like that's why they say people should have kids before they're 30, because once they cross that line and they become 30, these are the things that they think about. This is a legit fear. Like, no one talks about it in public because no one wants to sound like a lunatic. Like, no one wants to admit that they're afraid of getting a face full of yellow Gatorade when they're picking up a diaper after they dropped it. You can't tell me. Listen, none of us have kids in here except for two. So, no, listen, no one wants to be treated like a urinal at Yankee Stadium, okay? Like, what do you do when that starts to happen? Like, how do you pick when your kid starts peeing and you're trying to change its diaper, like, do you pick them up like an out of control garden hose and just like try to point it in the direction? Like, do you just point it like this? Like, I don't want to turn into the Jackson Pollock painting of piss. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Because there's nothing innocent about babies. They have excellent memories. They remember when their parent burps them too hard, puts them down for a nap too soon, takes too long to change their diaper. They remember, and they're like the 9/11 of grudges. They never forget. And they'll see you. They'll see you at the weakest moment. Your weakest moment is when they're gonna get you. That's when they're gonna strike. That's when they decide to pop the top on that little acorn and unleash the beast. Yeah. All right. Cool. You guys are great. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, you guys, keep it going for Ralph Anthony. Up next, he would appreciate any tips that you can give him about the stock market, even though it's just witchcraft and gambling. Give it up for Daniel Flores.
That's a good tip. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks, Brooks. Yeah. Ralph, I can only hope that when you're a parent, you're treated like the urinals in Dodger Stadium and not the ones in Yankee Stadium, because those don't get peed in, they just get peed around. Or maybe it's just me. I don't know. What's up, guys? My name is Daniel. I'm a Latino, but I feel like my personality is really white passing. Like, I get more offended when people insult white people than Latinos, okay? Like, if someone tells me, Latinos just steal jobs from hardworking Americans, I'm like, I'm just glad you think I could do your job. And like, I want to unpack that, because like stereotypes, they're almost always based on a little bit of truth. Like, yeah, we are stealing Americans' jobs. We have this kind of cultural value that gives us a little bit of an advantage. It's called, I forget the English word. Oh, work ethic. I'm just saying, like, America has an obesity problem. Latin America's biggest problem is we don't have enough jobs. Why we're taking yours. Yeah. And I mean, we're not coming after like the hardworking Americans' jobs. We're coming after lazy Americans' jobs, right? Because like I'll give you an example. I have not seen lately a lot of suburban kids mowing lawns. Mexicans took over that job market real fast. I don't know. It's not just that though. Like, I don't speak any Spanish, which has gotten me fired from a whole lot of fast food jobs. But I have great English, and I've been told I have a really white voice, which would be really helpful if ICE ever decided to just give me a call. You know, they'd call my phone and be like, Mr. Flores, and I go, actually, this is the Flores residence, okay? We are French, and if you call back, my wife Karen will have something to say about it. So no, I know my personality is white passing. Like I had a blind friend back in high school, and it dawned on me one day that I'd never told him I was a Latino because he invited me to a Weezer concert. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, so I was like, "Oh, dude, I didn't know you were a big Weezer fan." He's like, not really, but it seemed like something you'd be into." Yeah. Being a Latino though, like I come from a culture of chronic latecomers. Like being anywhere 10 minutes late is 15 minutes early to my people. It's just how it works. Like I'll give you an example. My grandpa used to drive caskets to funerals for his job, and he literally made people late to their own funerals. My parents immigrated to the States from South America, so I didn't grow up in that culture, and I was more used to being on time places. But my parents weren't very punctual, so as a kid, I never made it places on time. I only remember getting one place on time as a child. It was a concert. It was a Weezer concert. Great concert. That's all the material I wanted to try. Thanks, Brooks and Tom.
Yeah.
All right, keep it going for Daniel Flores.
Yeah.
All righty. So our next comic said he can be introduced with whatever the host wants. So I'm going to say he got arrested for running around buck naked through the Capitol.
Damn.
Give it up for Luke Willoughby.
Hell yeah. I just gotta be honest. Is it the mustache? Is that why you think that? Yeah, 'cause I could shave it. I can get rid of that if that's the reason. Hey guys, just having fun. Hey guys, I was a fat child. Surprise. And I got tested for diabetes when I was 8 years old. Like, and that's sad. Because I remember the doctor came back, he turned to my parents, and he said the results are negative. Then my mom was like, "Are you sure?" Doctor was like, "Not really, actually. Like, I see what you mean now. Like, blood work, his blood work's negative. Your eye test is positive. You're good." Yes. Let's take 2 cupcakes, and I'll see you guys soon. That's all I know. I don't know, guys. I've got stretch marks, guys, and I just don't mind, you know, because I like to think of them as a gang tattoo for all fat people.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like lots of hoods, they would rep purple because they're like tough. Like I rep it because I run out of breath quickly. Like the hood for me is just a McDonald's around the corner, and whenever I show up, everyone just thinks I'm Grimace. It's sad. Yeah, I went to the doctor last week. He said I'm now legally obese, and I was like, "You could just say obese, dude. What?" Because like at no point am I gonna get lawyers involved to challenge this. Because like that would be a funny court case. I'm like, Your Honor, he clearly misdiagnosed me. I got more medical opinions. They said I was like legally husky at most. So I would like to supersize just the Supreme Court. Yeah. Just as a heavier person, I wear hoodies a lot because there's so much like mystery behind a hoodie. Like if I ever rob a bank, I'm gonna wear a hoodie, right? Because the police report would be like, our suspect is somewhere between 180 and 280 pounds. What? Like we could see him at local stores buying more hoodies or at the gym bettering himself like he promised for the last 2 years. It's a personal joke, guys. But we're gonna bet on the first. He robbed the Golden Corral, so go with the first one. Yeah. I just knew I had a problem when I'd put my main food in the microwave, and then before the timer goes off, I would be getting more food. Like that was like it's a race or something against the timer. You know, I need some of my microwave going like on your mark, get set. I don't know. It's like a game at this point. Like I'll be honest, like it can be a workout if you think about it that way. It gets intense. Like I'm doing the LeBron pregame warm up with like donut powder. And I don't know. Just like 60 seconds to stuff myself with as much food as possible. Like I win every time. Like, cause when the time's up, the reward is just another hot pocket. Yeah, let's see. I got a little bit of time. If I turned 18 recently, I'm told it's okay to have sex now, and I also found out that's not what was holding me back at all. Not really. It's just weird to me because like I've been driving since I was 16, and there was a 2-year period where I could just end an entire family on the highway, but I couldn't start my own. Just don't agree because like that's the logic. Like if I get in a car crash now and kill 2 people, I can be like, Your Honor, I'm 18. I can just make more. What? Like these are your rules. I don't know. Let's see. I have time for one more joke. I figured out porn was unrealistic recently because I tried to hit on my teacher, and she just called my parents. I was like, yeah, I've seen this one before. You read the script. Good job. All right. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate it. Awesome, Mike. Thank you for the time.
Yeah. All right, keep it going for Luke Willoughby. Our next comic just wants to be introduced by his name, Eric Rothschild.
Hey, y'all. This is my first time doing stand-up.
One moment, please. Sorry. I'm trying to find you. There you are. Perfect. Keeping things professional. Woo, woo, woo. You're good.
This is my first time doing stand-up, so thanks for making me wait through all of you getting nervous. I'm pretty old to get started. I'm 53, so I realize it might be too late for me to be funny. I might just be like dog park funny, or he's the funny. But it's fine. I'll get work. I'm gonna go straight to nursing homes. I don't know about you guys. I spent a lot of time in nursing homes with my grandparents and my mom, and they always need performers. They don't have to be good. They just have to show up because the audience isn't going anywhere. So I figure if like some old lady starts to heckle me, I'll be like, shut the fuck up, Maud. I'm going to call her Maud, even if that's not her name. Just shut the fuck up, Maud. Your aide's down the hall. She's talking to her friend who's for real funny, and you're going to listen to my lame bit until she remembers where she put you. You think I'm I can say fuck at nursing homes? Like they still say fuck. They still fuck. I mean, like it really, like my, like when my grandpa died, I went through his desk drawers and, it's got like the industrial strength toe clipper and stamps and like 30 black combs. And then I find a cigar box and I'm like, yeah, this is when I get to loot. But and it's just like condoms and tubes of lube and some Polaroids of some old naked lady. I think her name was Maud. I wish I'd gotten some tips from him, because for real, I kind of suck at sex. Like, and I don't mean like I'm bad. Like I was mediocre. I was like mediocre when I was 43. At like this point, I'm bad. And I just wish Grandpa had just taken me on his knee and given me some tips. Eric, you got to stop riding around on that bicycle, smushing your balls. Put on an old-timey bathing suit and throw a big heavy ball to another old man in a old-timey bathing suit. That's what I did. It's not just my grandpa. It's your grandpa. It's your grandma. Yeah, I said it. Here's how I know. Like every year you see articles, STDs are up in nursing homes, venereal disease is skyrocketing in old age homes. That means they're fucking. And before I came on tonight, I checked to see if it's changed. I mean, like fossil fuel emissions dropped during COVID. We stopped school shootings, but old people STDs just holding steady. So, look, if your grandma got COVID this year in her nursing home, I'm sorry, I really am. But like before you blame it on the ventilation or like Andrew Cuomo, just take a beat because she probably got it exact same way you did. Just couldn't pass up a chance to fuck another rando. Thank you very much. If you're visiting your Nana, please make sure to say hi.
All right, keep it going, Eric Rothschild. Welcome to the mic, man. Hope it was a great set. So our next comic is the author of the comic toolbox, How to Be Funny Even If You're Not, and poster child for the concept of those who can't do, teach. Give it up for John Vorhaus.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name's John Vorhaus. That rhymes with, well, never mind. It's easy to remember. I want to share with you the strange day. I had a very strange day. It started out this morning. I was working out with my stand-up comedy coach, and she said she thought I would be a lot funnier if I just slowed down. And I thought, well, that's all well and good, but by that logic, I'd be funnier still if I just plain stopped. And I got thinking about Donald Trump, and I thought, in retrospect, he really was the straw that stirred the drink. Sadly, the drink in question was hemlock. And earlier, I started thinking about time travel. And I thought, you don't find a time machine every day, but if you had one, you certainly could. And that got me thinking about the whole space-time continuum. And I thought, if the universe is constantly expanding, why can't I find a place to park? And you know what they say, when you're in your head, you're in a bad neighborhood. And I thought, well, right now I'm in East Beirut, so I better get out, take a walk around, try and clear my head. That did not work out so well. I kept running into the strangest people. I went into a bookstore and I saw a man showing a book to his wife. And he said, look, honey, cartoons for smart people. And she said, oh, honey, that's not for you. I went next door to a restaurant called the Food for Thought Cafe. And I ran into a friend of mine. I said, dude, whatever you do, don't order the argument. He said, I know. I had it last week. It didn't agree with me at all. Down the block, there was a hot sheet motel, and I saw a couple coming out of that, and the man was all puffed up. He said, now that was some inappropriate touching. And she said, maybe for you. And I got to thinking, viewed through a certain filter, all marriages are same-sex marriages. Year in, year out, same sex. I walked into a bar called the Innuendo. And I said to the bartender, I'll take a double entendre. And she said, I'll give it to you. I came outside, almost got run over by a guy on a bike with a really serious, severe-looking bicycle seat. And I thought, well, that's a sight for sore thighs. Down the block, I ran into a woman about to be married to a man named Long. And I thought, she'll be along shortly. Then I went to the park. Tried to collect some crows. That was attempted murder. Found myself in a crowd full of people, and a speaker was saying, we must all agree on the nature of consensus reality. The guy next to me said, we don't need consensus. Who's with me? I left a park and went to a cemetery. I saw a hearse loading a casket, and I thought, coffinated. Saw another hearse unloading a casket, and I thought, decoffinated. Went into a grocery store, saw a sign that said still water, and I thought, yep, still is. Came outside, ran into an old professor. He said, I taught Shakespeare for 50 years, and I thought, slow learner. Down the block, there was a family at a yard sale, and I swear I heard the father say, great, just what we need, another goddamn yard. I ran into a Zen comic, and I asked him what he thought about jokes that weren't funny. He said, I laugh at them. I asked him what he thought about this trend toward ironic affirmation, and he said, I know, right? And then I saw a dog reciting poetry. It was that strange day. And the dog said, with quite a lot of pride, when you can drop a mighty deuce, as I do, like a god, do it twice in the very same walk, and you just dropped a quad. Ladies Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining me on my very strange day. I hope you enjoyed it, but please don't be too enthusiastic because it is my spiritual ambition to experience ego death. And how can I experience ego death if everyone keeps telling me how wonderful I am?
All right, you guys, keep it going for John Vorhaus.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Our last comedian of the evening is coming up. He's hosting the Aristocrats mic on Monday, the 25th of what I am assuming is this month. Give it up for Mr. AJ Capuccio.
Hey, thanks. I have autism. As ice cream socials were always just ice cream sip theirs. I also hate it when people send mixed signals like this.
Ta-
I just discovered these reactions on Zoom, and I just don't get what the point of them is when you see their actual face. It's like if someone said LOL to you in person, like you're not laughing. I'm a janitor. Wet floor signs grant me legal protection. If someone slips, I wish they could get me out of all legally slippery situations. Like if I slip up on my taxes. My friend asked me about OnlyFans and asked me if there was a gay version of it. I'm like, yeah, it's called OnlyFans. And you want to know how he can get gay to make some extra money because he's that's for another day. I'm so anxious. I get in the lightning position to touch the doorknob. My friend got married and now he shops at TJ Maxx. What makes him a trophy husband makes me a stingy gay. I did not plan. I only had all the time in the world to prepare for this. All right, fine. Back to my old shit. I fell off my bike in August and I broke my teeth. Look at the bright side. More room for cock. I got drilled by a tall, dark, handsome man. He was my oral surgeon.
Yeah.
I'll be getting new teeth. I'll be getting a bridge implant as soon as I make an appointment with the dental civil engineer. The Canadian border is closed for public health reasons. It should stay closed for punitive reasons because we deserve to be punished. But when it opens back up, I'm gonna be back on my bullshit, rolling up to the border crossing with my friend, and the border patrol officer asks, "What's the reason for your trip?" Oh, we're just going to the Montreal Circuit Party, meet up with a few other twinks, huff some poppers, and feel up Dirk Caber like he's a goat at a porn star petting zoo. He hands us back our passports and says, "Have a safe trip. Whatever you do, don't slap bags of milk at the supermarket." Yes, officer. We'll be sure not to slap bags of milk at the supermarket. And that is when we drive off. And I turn to my friend. He thinks we're gay. We're slapping bags. I told my sister to get off my case, but she needed it to reach the top shelf. Baby is such an overused song cliche. It should be aborted from songwriting. Thank you. That's my time.
Yeah, keep it going for AJ Capuccio. Great job, guys. Tom, you want to close this out?
Hell yeah, I do. We're getting out of here. Thank you guys so much for being here. Where's my little outro script? That's it for tonight. We're gonna stop streaming, but if you guys want, we normally leave the room open for a little bit after if you just want to hang out. But big thank you to you, Brooks, for being my awesome co-host, all the comedians who performed, and of course, you, David, Kim's Bookie. I don't know if you're still watching, but you made my night. And everybody else who watched. Also, if you're out there, I don't know how to document that yet. But if you enjoyed the show and want to support the stream, please consider making a donation of any size at district-comedy.live, or alternatively, like, share, follow us on all the social media stuff. It's all in the episode description. That also helps. No, the world's crazy right now, but at least we can laugh, right? Anyway, have a great night, and bye!
Yeah.